Welcome back, everyone, to a lovely Monday evening where some of us dumbass people try and attempt to play Dungeons and Dragons. Who wants to get me started with a little recap of what happened last week?
I'll give my little paragraph. We got ourselves set up to take on this massive, probably massive, army of cultists and orcs, and during our preparations, Hera made herself look special. Assuming that everyone just casually speaks to their god. Or goddess.
In conversation.
Unfortunately,
how is she supposed to know? How is she supposed to know? Don't
But
forget
after
her
we-
rousing speech.
Right.
That rousing
Rousing
speech was
speech.
really good.
It was very arousing.
Ooh.
Aha.
No.
So hours and hours and hours of waiting, and finally, the forces start heading towards us. That's all I got.
Yeah, and then it's been a clusterfuck ever since, basically.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
It has been a
That's
clusterfuck
everything.
ever since.
Wub found out that they were planting traps. Basically planting, explosive mines out in the field.
Oh yeah, Hera almost got herself murdered.
Yeah,
That seems to
by
be the fire cult.
Ma-
setting off one of these mines before we knew that they were mines.
Well, you guys know that by now that they're not mines, they're cages.
Yeah. We know that they're actual, flame traps. I'm just saying mines for...
Wouldn't that have been awkward if I failed my dex save?
I'm gonna fucking get you.
Fire cult would have come and got you, and the orcs would have surrounded you. It would have been a bad time.
Yeah. Who knows? It could have been hauled off to somewhere.
Some horrible place.
Foreshadowing. Anyway. And we also can't forget that right as the session ended and the Ice Shield Orcs broke through the main gate, Boris made a nice shatter attempt.
Amazing roll.
And even with an amazing roll of nice wisdom save, he
22.
rose in combat.
With the icy blood of a Mufasa orc, I assume.
Of a bitch. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Are these ice orcs or frost orcs? I can't remember them by name.
The colloquial name is Ice Shield Orc.
Ice shield orc. I know they're the natives of my homeland, but I couldn't
Right.
remember what they
Homeland
were
of
known
Ice
as
Shield.
here.
That's
No,
what
We
no,
had,
Mufasa.
if only we had a cleric who could restore him.
If only
Restore who?
Boris.
Boris. He is basically petrified / frozen right now.
Is he considered paralyzed?
We don't know.
This is
Nobody's been able to do checks.
yeah.
You're assuming that this cleric has the ability to do that.
Well,
After all, I'm actually more of a sorcerer than a cleric.
We weren't. We were talking about Grave.
yeah,
That would be a
The
better
cleric.
idea.
yeah, John. Gosh.
You know.
Well,
the
I
actual cleric.
I thought, we were talking about the people that are here, so that's why I was
Yeah,
defending.
we were
my
talking
honor.
about the one person who isn't here
Gotcha.
because we need him.
Well,
Soiled it.
that brings us
Sorry.
back to the beginning of our round order. And as I mentioned before, all of you in the vicinity, so Drom, Zuya, and even Torin and Wub with a glance turning around after hearing a large thunder strike hit behind you by the main gate. You're able to see that Boris is basically in a post-cleave stance, and the tip of Iron Fang is buried about an inch into the dirt. And as the rest of you kind of turn and go back to the task at hand, you feel a slight breeze come across the area, and there is a loud boom that sounds, or looking at it from Zuya Adraman, Hira's perspective, you see a white streak of lightning come down and strike Boris. And for Boris,
Wasn't it a Drom's turn?
No, I haven't gone yet.
okay, well, I'm doing it the way that, or I'm doing it in my order.
Okay.
So, Boris, your vision blurred and went black. And what feels like a full moment, your vision slowly returns to the snowy hills of Vasa. In front of you is a tree stump with a uncut round of a tree that stands aloft. In your hands is your father's woodcutting axe. And you begin to think back, remembering when he gave you this axe. You see again the stern and cold look on his face as he handed it to you, yet looking closer, you can see that there's a gleam of pride in his eyes for his only son. Returning to the task at hand, you shake the memory from your mind and raise the axe above your head. And that is where I'll go into Zuya, Hira, and Adram. What are you guys doing?
Zuya, you mind me interjecting on your turn first to buff some people?
Go for it.
All right, so Adram's gonna see that whole thing happen to Boris, but since this is basically all happening at once,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to do what he was going to do anyways, which was haste some people. I don't think haste will help you out, Tom.
I'm not sure if it will, but
it was what I was going to do, and in the heat
Go
of the
for it.
battle, it's
don't
It
worry.
is-
I'm chopping wood back in my homeland. It's okay.
now you're going to do it more hastily. You're going to get so much wood done.
You're
So
gonna get
I'm
so much wood.
Yeah, I'm gonna swoop in, and I'm still technically I think I'm about 30-ish feet up still, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast a twinned spell. Haste. Let me use my. All right. That is a 3rd level spell. On Hira and Boris. And I was wrong in the way before. Oh wait, never mind. Me and Kyle talked about this. I was gonna roll a
Mm-hmm.
D100.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
think that's a double, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think Boris can do anything, but after my turn, Hira and Boris can use a reaction to attack if they are able to do so. And that is it, I believe.
Okay.
Or I can still do a cantrip.
As a
no.
as a
If
bonus
it's a
action.
bonus action, it's a
Mhm.
cantrip. So I can actually quicken a spell for another sorcery point. 2 sorcery points and make it a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that. And I will attack the doggo
Okay.
with a Toll the Dead.
Okay.
And that will be a wisdom. He's missing health, right?
Yes. So he needs a wisdom saving throw. That is 17 plus 1, so 18.
He fails.
Takes 10 necrotic.
And then 10 radiant. So he's all sorts of, because I still have the the
Right.
wings and all that. So.
Yeah.
That'd be
How do you want to do this?
Oh, okay. So a drum
Nice.
kind of reaches out, and you see like kind of like shimmers go out towards like Boris and Hira. And you see kind of their shoulders perk up a bit as they feel, a positive aura on them. And then a drum then turns to the dog and just points at it. And this giant bell looking thing with a Lathander sigil on it encompasses the doggo's head, and it like rings once, and you can see like almost like dust, this necrotic stuff fall off of like the bell and just encompass him, like wash over him, and then like inside his head you see like this burst of radiant, and it just pops its head.
You. Okay. You want to move?
These are bad guys right here.
Yep. Or the flank, or the one with his
This one is.
Yeah, that one is.
Okay. I will move back over this way.
Okay.
And then Hira or Boris, I don't know if you can use your reaction or not, but
And with his with that Eternal Flames Warcaster ability, or he's gonna fire a
Yep, you can do it.
firebolt. Firebolt is a shit. What's his spellcasting ability?
-2.
A 13 hit.
it doesn't.
Okay, so
As he flies away, oh, go ahead. You can
Go
do it.
-2.
yeah, he kind of points his finger and fires a firebolt, and it just sails off.
Like, duck out of the way and just keep flying.
All right, so Zuya.
Sucker.
Hero will tell Zuya to arm the east gate. But he's welcome to do what he wishes.
Are you there, buddy?
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do now.
How long's that dragon last?
I think it's
Oh.
an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Oh my god. We'll just all go sit down and eat. Zoo, you take care of everything with the dragon.
Yeah,
it's an
concentration up to an hour. So any kind of like it is a concentration ability. So
So if he gets hit, he'll have to roll. But still,
yeah.
damn.
Are you able to do? Are you in a bear form right now?
Not elemental.
Elemental. Are you able to maintain concentration? That's a question for after the session. Okay.
I can look it up quick if you
Yeah, I can change shape while concentrating. That doesn't affect it.
It's just if he gets damaged,
If I get damaged, I
he'll
still
have
have
to
to.
con save.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he gets damaged or if he uses another concentration spell, then that'll
Drop that one. Yeah. All right.
It just sucks because he's melee based, so he'll be getting hit a lot as opposed to like a caster that
And
tries to stay away.
just to frame the situation a little bit more, Zoya, you do see Hira charging off towards the barn where Wub is stationed above on the roof. You did hear the Minotaur crash through the walls of the barn, and you hear the sounds of a manticore wrestling with this Minotaur. But Hira did also, like, as she's running by, she shouted, "Man the east gate."
Yeah, she's gonna yell, "Man the east gate, I'll get Boris."
Yeah, you do have your spiritual weapon out.
I used my bonus action for the cantrip, but I forgot
Correct.
that I had it out.
All right, I am going to go towards the east gate, and the dragon's gonna go here.
There's also this guy if you want to put the dragon on him.
Yeah, we only have one enemy. Yeah, one
Yeah,
enemy.
there's only one
inside.
bad guy left in here.
Yeah, the wolf guy's down.
Okay.
But I think there's the Minotaur in the barn. Does the
Mhm.
barn open up into this inner thing, or is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Just, oh,
Yeah, yeah. There's a big old door
That's why
right
I was
there.
sending the dragon towards the Minotaur, but the caster can bring more things in, so
Mm. And he looks like he could use a tan, my friend.
the dragon's ice. So that's he can move
He looks like he
over.
could take a chill pill, friend.
Okay, so the dragon is going to do his attacks.
Okay.
Which is the 3 rend attacks and then the breath weapon.
Careful you don't hit this. She's a good guy. Don't hurt her.
Oh yeah, it's the 30-foot cone.
Yeah, but he could hit it this way, like towards the gate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That would also be hitting the house, and who knows what's inside the
I
house
was
right now.
about to say that would hit the house and the gate.
It's a
Nah,
30-foot cone.
30-foot
Yeah.
cone of ice. Alright, so I need 3 rends.
Yeah. Roll me some DiMaggio, or some attack rolls.
I would just forego the breath, honestly, just to be safe.
Yeah.
That's fine. The house can withstand a little bit.
Mm,
With our luck, it takes down the wall.
yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Going after. So
The
the
caster.
okay, so the 20 and the 17 hit.
Okay. So 12 damage
12 DiMaggio.
of
Gotcha.
ice.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Wait, are they?
Or cold.
They are
It's
not.
Cold damage.
Okay, so 12. DiMaggio. All right, so he is not looking very good. You see some as his or the dragon's frosty claws kind of cleave into the flame priest in front of him. You see the streaks of the of ice kind of just solidify across his chest and begin to melt. And that is it for you, or Ed?
What?
Is that for you? It for you?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's it for me.
Cool. Then Hira. What thought are we
Okay.
doing last?
Okay, so I'm gonna use 20 feet of movement to fly over to Boris.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on him. Give that a try.
So you feel as if as you place your hand on Boris's shoulder and you feel the divine energy pulse through you into him, you feel it take hold as if it works, but he's still locked into place.
Shit. I have another spell I could try, but not on this turn. Could I? I guess I'm just going to have...
You still got
Here.
10 feet of movement and a bonus action.
I'm hasted, so I have more than that for movement.
Right. Okay, cool.
Alright, so Hira has a dilemma here. You know, she's like, oh shit, do I try something else on Boris? And then she looks and she hears the Minotaur raging in the barn. And she looks back at Boris and she looks back at the barn and she looks back at Boris and she says, I'm sorry. And then she's gonna book it to the barn.
Ooh.
And she's gonna yell for a drum or for Potat.
Potats, potatoes.
So she makes it here, and then
Hold
she's
on.
gonna use her bonus action to Misty Step
Okay. Into the barn.
into the barn.
And so, as you enter the barn, you see that there has been 2 horses that are slaughtered. They don't look like your horses. You do see a manticore currently on the back of the Minotaur,
Get a murder
and
face.
giving him a nice mawing. But as you watch and enter, the Minotaur reaches back and grabs the Manticore by his scruff and throws him, and and then Murderface is no longer on him.
That's it for me. I think that's all I can do.
Okay. All right. This grouping of Flame Guardians over here are going to continue to maintain their spell of the Firewall. This big lunking motherfucker is going to come up through here. And then there's going to be a number of orcs that break way into the main area. Bringing us over to B. With Torin and some hunters. Let's see, that's 3. You go ahead, Torin, while I roll them some attacks.
Didn't expect all that. Shoot. So. So about how many broke through into the main section?
3.
Okay, only 3. Sure. Well, I'm just going to keep focus on this group out there in section B. Gonna toss a 4th level frostball.
Okay, and as you begin your incantation for the spell, go ahead and I'll roll some well, actually, let's see if this works. As you begin your incantation, you see 2 motes of flame spark up and appear next to these. Are these? Forgot to do. There we go. 2 motes of flame as I'm using these tokens for simplicity, but to describe what you're looking at is you see 2 individuals wrapped in very tight cloth clothing, but in the bits of skin that you see is charred and blackened, and you see that their face is basically a blank, almost a smooth visage of what would be a humanoid face, and their mouth is actually crackled and broken, and when they open their mouth in this twisted grin, it's flame inside their mouths. And what level is that spell? 4th level? So So as you begin your incantation, you can see one of them appear down there and begin another incantation that you recognize as Counterspell.
Ooh.
So the DC for Counterspell is what? 10 plus the spell level for Intelligent? If I remember right.
Intelligence check.
Mm-hmm. And he rolled a 19 on the die, plus his 4, so that's 23.
Mhm.
So I believe that would counterspell. So you begin your incantation, and your spell just fizzles.
Crap.
Okey-dokey.
So you still have some more.
Does he lose that spell slot?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Gonna take some wind out of the sails.
I never take counterspell, so I'm not exactly sure how it works.
Here,
But I know that mine don't.
let's see.
Alright, so I'll have a bonus action and a move action on the roof.
Attempt to. Yeah, right here. DC plus or DC 10 plus the spell's level. Spell fails when at higher levels when you cast 4th level or higher. The interrupted effect less level or equal to the slot used. Okay. 3rd level or lower. If it's casting a 4th level or higher, make an ability check. Yeah. So yeah.
Seems easy. Alright, well I ain't got much in the ways of bonus actions, and the roof is pretty roof-like, so I'm gonna stay put. That'll be it for Torin.
Okay. So, seeing that his counterspell worked, that twisted grin is going to widen, and the orc standing between the two of them is going to slide his axe across his shield, creating these massive sparks. And as he does, the sparks are going to coil around him, and he'll reach out, and the 2 monks beside him are going to grab, and then in a huge explosion of fire, they're going to bamf. And so that means, what's the radius for Thunderstep is 30 feet, so this is Fire Step, it's the same thing. So
They're on the
Dude,
roof.
they are on the roof with Torin. So that means this guy
Torin
and
gonna
Torin, I need you to make me a
punch him.
dexterity saving throw.
You got it. 23.
So you succeed. So it's going to be half of this damage. So take half of 16, so that is 8. And the hunter that was next to you, at like in the spot next to them, as they apparate in this huge explosion of fire up on top of the roof, beginning to set fire to the wooden roof, the other hunter is burned to a cinder.
Ooh.
Yikes.
And that'll be it for that. Bringing us to C. This group of flame guardians, both groups, are going to unleash some fireballs at the wooden walls, just directed at the walls. So that is going to be 2 dex saves. Save. Right. Alright, so this hunter, unfortunately, is not going to survive. And is blasted off the walls. And now the walls standing here, or on the east gate, have been there are sections of it where the fire was directed that has been reduced to basically a cinder. Brings us to H. Move this group. Going to D. Group is going to continue to move into Wub's line of sight, bringing us to E with Wub and the Minotaur.
You want me to go before the Minotaur?
I'm gonna. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know if you were waiting on me or.
Yeah, my bad. I should have said.
All right. So,
And you have a good vantage point that you just saw the group of three, appear on the main roof.
Okay. I was gonna ask about that, and then you said that this guy represents 10 people, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got 10 people over here. I've got like 12 people right here. Fuck. Okay. We're in the shits. All right.
Protect the gate, I'd say.
Status quo for Misery and Company.
So I am going to cast. This time I will cast a second level Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot this guy.
Okay. So aiming at the center and casting Hail of Thorns with it, so the rest of them around it have to make a dex save.
If I hit him, yeah.
Okay. Roll me that attack roll. That is going to hit. Nice. So that is.
And that is going to be poison damage.
Okay. So as you fire this bolt,
6 poison.
it shoots out of your crossbow and it changes from the metallic gray to a slightly glowing green. And as it strikes home in the center of the chest of the orc, you see the poison begin to like spread throughout his veins, and then he's going to start coughing and hacking and then drop. And then before this, as the arrow or the bolt is arcing, it separates into probably about 25 other bolts, and they rain down on the rest of them. And you're gonna take out. Let's see.
What did I get? What did I end up rolling? Oh, it rolled a 8 and a 1. Just because I can. Let me re-roll that 1 because I like my piercer ability.
Okay.
A 2, just like last session. Dope. So 10 damage this time. I love it.
Okay.
It's a fun game, I promise.
All right. And the Minotaur, not having Murderface on his back anymore, is going to charge to the nearest threat, which is Hera. And lumbering up, he is going to take a huge breath. Do you get an attack of opportunity for someone entering your threat range with
Yeah, I
Sentinel?
sure do.
Okay, so he's gonna charge up, and you see him take a massive breath in the sparks that normally are coming out of his nose when he breathes, crackle and spark, and when he breathes out of a large cone of fire is going to erupt from his nasal. So that's gonna be roll your Sentinel attack. 22 is gonna hit. Nice. So that's 26 points of 26 points of damage.
Let me add
Your
my
radiant. So then that's another 11. Nice. Nice DiMaggio.
and then that's cold damage from the Spirit Shroud.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Nice. All right. So I need a dexterity saving throw from you, Hera.
You have advantage because of haste.
Oh, well, let's see what I roll again. Alright, it's 21 then.
So half of 21, so 10 damage.
10 damage?
Yeah, 10 fire damage as you're able to swing with your halberd and duck out of the way just in enough time as he unleashes his his cone of burning breath. All right.
So yummy.
Moving over to the what's up?
I'd like to take my second attack.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I forget you get a second attack.
It's all good. You're on a roll. I didn't want to cramp your style.
I'm cramped. Go ahead.
The rest of these guys still survived, but they did seem to be affected by my poison, correct?
Yeah.
If that's the case, just because these guys are taking a little bit longer than I initially planned, I'm just gonna have to put my. Oh no, I already used a bonus action. Dang it. Well, I will just shoot one of them right in the neck, since he's not wearing a helmet,
Okay.
or in the face, either way. Right, but shooting for the vitals, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There we go. So a 33 to hit.
Oof. Yeah. All right. And with that,
that's going to be acid damage. So 12 piercing, 5 acid.
Ooh. Yeah.
Good, bro.
And that was at the front guy.
Front guy?
Yeah.
All right. So with that extra acid damage, you do shoot him in the neck, and you watch some of the skin around his neck begin to slaw and fall off. However, he's still standing, but extremely hurt. Some of them are a little hardier than the others.
Well, in that case, then I'll send a wasp. Oh, my wasp will do 1 damage. Take that. Well, gotta love it.
Don't get right in the nipple.
Oh wait, no, I already used my piercer feat. I can't. Actually, no, I think it's whenever.
Yeah,
I don't think it's once per turn with piercer feat.
And per attack or whatever. Per piercing.
Yeah,
attack.
nope. Once per turn when you hit a creature with an attack. So yeah, once per turn. Never mind. Cannot reroll the 1.
Okay.
Take that 1 damage, bastard.
All right. So moving us over to G. It's gonna be our 3 up on the roof, firing
Quick
down.
question.
What's up?
Which segment am I in?
So technically you're in E, but for this round I'm gonna have you move in A, just because you came from A, and then if you
Okay.
stay in E or stay,
I just wasn't sure how it worked when he moved from one section into another.
Yeah, and whenever you stay in E, when it
Okay,
comes
awesome.
around to your turn again, it'll be in E.
Okay.
Those 2 are gonna fire off some shots, and both of them are gonna miss, or all 3 of them. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Bringing us back down to A. Let's start here. So, Boris. As I said, returning to the task at hand, you shake the memory from your mind and raise your axe above your head and bring it down. And then raise it again. Suddenly, you feel a pair of frail, yet strong and warm arms coil around your midsection, and a soft frame presses against your back. Pausing and lowering your axe, you turn to see the slender face of Victoria, smiling up at you with her arms wrapped around you. Her skin pale and freckled, and her eyes a vibrant green. This small, compared to you, woman looks up at you and with a tender and loving voice says, "Won't you come inside, love, where it's warm?"
I gotta chop this wood.
You well? You were given this day of rest. Are you really going to ignore a special request from, in a very sarcastic tone, our lord? And you see a smile, smirk, or a sly smirk cross her lips. The one she uses when she's poking fun at you.
No.
Well, come inside when you're done. I'll have a warm meal and a warm bed waiting. And she'll wink and begin walking away. The rest of you outside. Let's start with same thing as before. So it would be Adramzuya and Hira. This flame priest.
Can I go first?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move some things around so you can know what is happening. There you go. Get Boris out of here for now.
Did my token get moved, or am I losing my mind?
Hmm?
Did my token get moved, or was I standing there the whole time?
You're standing there the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were here and then you moved after you cast your spells. You moved over slightly.
So these three are gonna move in and surround Mr. Dragon. Alright, so yeah.
Okay. Alrighties. So, I'm gonna...
Who are you attacking? The Minotaur?
Yes.
With some vengeance.
Okay, 23
And
and 24 is gonna hit.
And for each of those, get some cold damage, plus Radiant Soul.
Damn it, making me break out the calculator.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Not counting
11.
haste yet, right?
No, I haven't even done my haste attack yet. You're right.
3.
So there's
Oh,
another
my
one
lord.
and another one.
Your lowest was at 23. Hira is
And then,
pissed.
and then I'm actually going to use my bonus action to Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
DC 17 strength. Just imagine, in an alternate reality somewhere in the metaverse, all three of those attacks were crits.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Well,
So-
Hira's in Hero Complex gotta save everybody mode, so she's moving around lightning quick, going bam, 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 gotta move to the next one.
So that's
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
23 for the save.
So he doesn't get pushed back, but he still takes 4 thunder damage.
You want to know how much damage that was in one turn?
What?
104. Okay. Well,
She's got like 3 buffs going on her.
how do you want to do this?
Oh.
So Hira, basically, she sprinted forward, and then everybody outside would have just saw her just disappear in a puff of mist, and so she reappears inside. The Minotaur charges her, breathes fire at her, and she just literally just completely ignores the fire, slashes him, and then follows it up with another basically one of those lightning quick anime things where she's just like slash slash slash, and you don't even see it,
Mhm.
and it just kind of like.
And Wub, you hear underneath you, with your vantage point, you hear very clearly a large framed body onto the ground.
While she's doing it, she screams, "For Boris!"
All right.
Do you mind if I go?
I am
Zuya?
going to tell Hira, now get back to the gate. They're getting in. With the message rings.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have any movement because of haste?
Yeah,
Or because I used haste for an attack, I can't move.
No, you still have, or you don't have the bonus to move. You would
But
get
you
from
still have your
haste,
regular
but you still have your
movement, I
regular.
believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 5e haste is way overpowered.
Alright, she's gonna post up there in a defensive position.
Okay. All right. So Adram and Zuya.
Do you mind if I go?
Go for it.
All right. So Adram is going to spend some sorcery points to cast 4th level spell with the name of. He's using sorcery points to do a distance spell on this particular thing. So it takes it from a touch to puts it to 30 feet.
Okay.
So he's going to move. Let's move up 1. Nope, never mind. So he's going to cast on Mr. Torin some greater visibility. And he's going to say as he's casting it, Torin, I'll see you around, buddy.
Isn't haste a concentration spell as well?
It is.
So you're dropping haste.
So instantly you'll see Torin just blip out of existence.
So isn't that, or whenever you drop haste, doesn't the person accrue a point of exhaustion?
No,
Yeah.
they just have to lose their next turn.
I'll just not be able to move next or do anything next turn.
And Boris
Okay.
is still MIA, out of life. So,
Okay.
so instantly Torin turns invisible, and he couldn't take a reaction if there's anything that he can do. And then as a bonus action, I am going to move my spiritual weapon 60 feet. Where's the closest bad guy? Swing at him.
Okay.
Ooh. Look at that, 26.
26 hits.
Whoa.
And this is plus 10 damage. 22 damage.
22 damage. So, your spiritual weapon carves a massive cleave into the chest piece of this
Plus 10, but yeah.
of this orc, and he looks extremely hurt from that.
All right. Torin, I don't know if you can do a reaction, but you're welcome to at this point.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
You can
invisible.
see.
That's the point.
Okay, Zuya.
Alrighty, I'm going to get over here and end up over here by Potat. And I think the red dragon is going to do his little rend attacks.
All right, and one of the orcs is going to succeed in an attack, and the dragon will take 9 damage.
Okay.
Okay. (19, 7, and 17 are going to hit. Are they all directed at the same one or different ones?
The 7 was a 26. I don't know why it moved on me, but
Okay.
people were taught. There we go. So three hits.
Yep, 3 hits, and are they all at the same one or at different ones?
Well, I attacked the one. The first one I attacked was the one that the spiritual weapon just hit.
Okay, so roll damage.
That sucks.
Well, seeing as he was already hurt, that is enough to
Okay.
bring it down.
Then I would go to the next one and attack that with my next 2 attacks.
Okay.
Ah, crap.
Okay, so 13
happens.
damage.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So
Still, I said it's 5.
pretty decent damage. All right. This priest has been here for a while, so he's moving into I. So that will be good. All right. What's happening out here? These 3 are gonna step up behind the gate. Big boy back here. Gonna take up position off to the east, or lower to the south. That brings us to B.
So just the gate's open, right?
There is a large hole in the wall, or so where the gate was. So if the gate was like 10 or a 10-foot wide gate, now it's probably about 12 to 15 feet of a hole there from Boris's shatter. All right, so that brings us to B. Your archer friends up at the top of the roof are not going to be any help.
They were before. Figure. Okay. So since I am invisible now, I am going to move a little bit further back. It's just Alt. I can move on to the actual roof, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Just going to move a little bit further back, and I am going to... yeah. I'll upcast a 5th level Frostball.
Okay.
And what's
With
great
these 3
is
on the roof.
you can't get dispel or counter spelled if they don't know you're casting.
And the spell and greater invisibility doesn't fall whenever you cast, right?
Invisible until I lose concentration. So Torn literally has a field day. He can do whatever he wants.
just be
Fantastic.
quiet.
So,
Just tiptoe.
No such thing.
He fucking slips off the roof.
roll
You
me
see-
some damage.
I will. They just need to make a DC 20 dexterity save.
Okay. So,
My ears.
your friend here is able to succeed, but still takes half damage of 38. Holy shit.
I don't have to take damage.
Oh, yeah, because of your evocation thing.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
because I'm safe.
Perfect. So, 1 fail, 2 fails. So that is going to be 38 damage. Let me find him. Where is him? There it is. Half of 38 is
19.
yeah, 19 damage. 19 damage. And those two.
Visibility is just him standing perfectly still.
I mean, like the spell happening.
Perfectly still.
Right. Okay. So you did some decent damage. This one here. Now that you can see them up close, they're wearing like I said, cloth armor. And their arms are pretty much wrapped up to their elbows, but from the bits of skin that you can see, it's burned and seared to, a blackened state. Their eyes glow this twisting fire, as well as, like, in their mouth is nothing but fire. He is going to move over to Ernid and unleash 2 fists to him. And that is going to be 12. Going to be 2 hits. Let's go. Damage. To him. And then you see with one of the strikes, he brings it up as an uppercut. And you see as Ernid takes the hit and shudders and becomes stunned. This one over here is the one that avoided your frostball is going to make the same trio of attacks. and not do much. But with that, the orcish figure that followed him up, or brought them up, is going to walk over and reach out and grab the Emerald Enclave member by the throat. And let's see if he succeeds. He does succeed. So he reaches for his throat, and he's able to kind of just duck out of the way a little bit, moving there. Well, move when you... Okay. He's able to succeed as this orc reaches around his throat. And the group of orcs back here is going to continue moving and then launch a hail of javelins towards the general area. Ooh. Avoiding this one, or avoiding the grapple, he is going to step right into the line of fire and get 2 javelins to the back. And that's going to be enough to bring him to his knees, but not dead. Conscious. Oop. 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 Right. Alright. Moving to C. Is there anything else you can, or you want to do, Torn?
Nope.
Okay. This group, gonna, realizing they're having the upper hand, begin making their way back to camp. However, this group of 10 is going to step forward and begin casting a unison spell. Another ball of fire spreads up across the area, and you guys get the feeling as time goes on, these walls that or the barricades that you guys have been or have built, by the time it comes back around, they will be completely burned away, leaving just the moat that you guys have dug.
They did what they were meant to do.
Nothing happened. H, D.
But these guys think that they have the upper hand, so they're leaving.
They're moving position.
In which direction?
North.
Well, aren't they cocky?
South. Further. South further. Still in vision. And that brings us to E with Lubba Lubba.
And murder.
Right.
Face.
And Murder.
As a bonus action, I am going to put my hunter's mark behind the guy at the front.
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at the guy in the front because I know he's super weak.
Damn, Murderface is big.
Whoa! What are you feeding them, Boris?
God, Wubba.
Oh, you know, wherever he wants. Because
Damn.
I'm not gonna stop him. Are you?
All right. Good hit.
I'm
Let's-
going
And
Let's
here I
to hit him
yell,
with 3 fire damage on top of that.
Okay, so as the fire hits, you realize that it just kind of disperses across his chest.
Yeah.
But that's still 11 damage to a new one. Plus your...
No, the 11 damage to the
One
first
you-
guy.
the one you've
I've
already
already
hit.
shot.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah. And then
One left.
for this guy, the one that I put my hunter's mark on,
Need to get rid of these damn drawings. Holy fuck. Complete.
I know
Oof.
Hira can't do anything this turn, but can she yell, murder face with me?
That's shouting as a free action, so yeah.
Yeah.
25 is going to hit, and what kind of deblamage did you do?
I was waiting waiting for you to tell me if it hit or not.
It does.
Acid damage, so that's going to be 4 acids.
Nice. All right, picking them off.
Bam, bam. Another 12 damage from my Hunter's Mark and Gathered Swarm.
So 19 from the piercing and acid, or piercing and assing.
Piercing and assing.
And then,
Kyle.
and then another 12
Ooh,
piercing.
woo.
What are you thinking about?
Eric. Anyway,
Oh.
that look.
How he wishes he was invisible.
So that's what? 31 points of damage. Okay. Yeah, that shot, that second shot is enough, or does a hefty amount of damage. All right.
Nice.
So bonus action, 2 attacks, and anything for your movement?
No, I'm just gonna warn Hira about this group of people looking like they're about to try to attack this flank of the barn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and that will bring us to Hira. Is your what is the ability that you put down here, Lub?
Where? What?
The square?
That's,
that's
from Zuya.
Zuya's.
Oh, that's your
my-
druid. Yeah, that's your druid
That's-
grove.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's why they have
difficult, that's difficult terrain for them.
Unless they have the
Yeah.
password. Yeah.
Yep.
And Hira has the password. Nice.
Pineapple.
Well,
I
for
thought it was
the
password.
spell, you can also just designate allies that aren't affected by it. You don't
Yeah,
have.
basically.
I want to do the password.
Has this guy just been chilling up here, not doing anything?
No, he's inside the barn, and he's terrified.
Oh, was he cowering? Was he cowering?
Yes.
They saw Hira just literally just like appear in there, go wham wham wham, and then run out.
And the Manticore start fighting.
Yeah.
And with a Minotaur, he ain't getting involved with that shit.
He's
So
hiding
all
under
this
the
guy,
hay.
all this guy sees is the Minotaur bursts in, Manticore goes ham on it, the Minotaur throws him off, and then Hira just appears in there, goes wham wham wham, and leaves. And he's just like,
He's braiding.
going on?
He's braiding some hay just to look like he's busy.
Oh, and I do want to do this. So, before we get to you here, what are you having Murderface do for us? Seeing as he is your pet.
Murderface is going to launch himself into the air to make his plan to jump over to Hira, but en route he's gonna see the guys over here. Can't see. I can't ping. The guys that Wob was talking about. Yeah, over there. He's gonna do some tail spike action. Launching
Can
tail
Wub give,
spikes.
can Wub give him a quick pet before he takes off?
as he he's on the ground, so as he comes up, like flies up, Wub can go. "Ah."
Yeah.
Like that
Jones-
Free Willy moment
Jones
when the
scares us.
orca jumps over
mean,
him. He like
yeah. I'll allow it if you want to make an athletics check, Wub, and see if you can jump onto the back of Murderface as he takes off.
Holy shit!
That would actually be awesome.
If I tried to do like,
That would be pretty rad if you did.
if I tried to actually like time it right and vault myself off of the roof, could I somehow make it an acrobatics check?
Yes.
Dope.
Like I forget his character name, but the guy in the Warcraft movie when he runs off barefoot and just jumps off.
Nat
Oh,
20!
shit!
Nat 20!
Ah!
He does
Whoa! Landing in my saddle.
a flip!
Literally
Oh shit!
does a flip, lands right on fucking the back of Murderface as he takes off.
Hira sees that, and she raises her elbow and she goes, "Yeah!"
So that's 100 feet. I'll just put you guys here adjacent with each other so you know you're together. And with that 1 or that 9 piercing damage from the tail spike is 200 feet. Holy shit. Okay, so that 12. Seeing as they're kind of clustered together, it doesn't make direct contact with one. It just grazes it, one of the arms, but it does do some damage. All right.
But Murderface was going to end up. Were you recalling for Murderface to come to you, or what was your?
She
Murder
was,
face.
but like but then she turned around and she saw that happen and she goes, "Yeah, hell yeah!"
Okay.
That,
Murderface
that-
is just
that
gonna
was
be,
cool. I'm
be
not
here
gonna
with
lie.
Logan. Ready to launch more tail spikes. He's just gonna kind of chill here.
Okay, so he's
Well, do you
he's
want
flying
him
about like
to go anywhere?
Hmm?
Well, do you want him to go anywhere? Like,
I mean,
I was thinking, originally I wanted to have them tail spike the guys that Torin's dealing with on the roof, but the guys over here to the east need to get taken care of. So
Yeah, Hero will finish off these guys.
Torin would be like, Murderface would be like looking at the guys over on Torin, wanting to help them, and seeing the guys at the gate.
Well, he
Over
doesn't
here.
see Torin anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
'Cause
because
he's
Tori's
invisible.
invisible. So
yeah, but I mean, that whole area-
unfortunately, that's essentially why I just didn't say anything RP wise. Because in Wub's mind, it's all good. Torin's not there anymore. We're good.
So
He
there's
died.
11 people here, Tom.
Yeah, Murderface would be more concerned about those people now because
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay,
that's what Webb's telling him to do.
all right.
No worries, man. I'll just do it like one of those World of Warcraft cinematics where I'm just riding the mount. I have no control over it. I'm just throwing shit down on the ground,
You have no control. Murderface is doing his thing, trying to figure out what you're
doing
about.
doing the loops,
You're
doing like
yelling
the pre-path loops around the whole battlefield, and I'm just dropping bombs basically.
He doesn't even have
Yeah.
to. He could hover and just start launching
For RP
spikes
reasons,
at him.
I know that Hero lost her turn because of losing haste, but she's gonna spend her entire turn just going, "Yeah!" at Wub.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
So-
worth it.
super dope.
And
That's an amazing roll, dude.
at this point, dragging a dead body along with them, I guess, because they're grouped. Are gonna be moving in towards this spot here, but they only have minimal movement, so they can't move very far. All right.
Just bringing their dead allies with them. No man left behind.
Basically,
Wub sees this. Wait, are we the bad guys? We've left so many behind.
oh. All right. The 3 on the forge are gonna start taking some shots.
I'm super thrilled. I don't even know what to do with my next turn now.
At 20. So this guy is gonna go. We got. So the one that was rended previously is gonna have, in front of the dragon, will have an arrow land in his skull and he'll drop. The other 2 are gonna fire at the larger orc in the back and miss, bringing us back over to A. So that will be Boris, these orcs. For the sake of simplicity, we'll still do a Draman. So yeah, just give it. You can. Okay. All right. Boris. Turning back to your work in front of you and listening to the soft crunching snow as she returns to your home, you begin hearing rustling in the small thicket of woods that separates your home from the rest of town. You glance into the tree line just as you see an axe fly out of the woods. It flies past your head and you hear the far too familiar sounds of a blade sinking into flesh and a body falling to the snow behind you. Adrenaline rages through you, or through your blood as you begin to see 5 large forms break through the trees. With your senses on high, you're beginning to be able to hear this shouts and screams of the town folk on the other side of the small wood. Roaring, you bring your father's axe up and charge for the 5 figures breaking through. At this point on the for the rest of you, you see another hot white streak of lightning break down on Boris, and his form begins to shift. Armor literally breaks and falls away from his body, being replaced by and his flesh begins to shift and meld almost into a stone like texture. And a Drom from your Torin, from your vantage point, you can see the whites of Boris's eyes now completely as his armor is no more. He doesn't have his helmet protecting his face, and so you can see the whites of his eyes go completely black. And bringing up, he begins to bring up the corrupted Iron Fang blade and makes a hefty cleave. Let's see if I can. That is gonna be, because of that. That's gonna be a hit. With that, he's going to cleave into one of the orcs in front of him. And you can see now from the new perspective of his body, there's the plates of stone that have kind of sealed around his body are also giving him like a bigger form. Almost looking a little bit more, a little bit taller and a little bit wider. And so, this guy is gonna got hit pretty hard. Guys are gonna in. Ah, stop it. Whoa, okay. That was interesting. And he's gonna move in, make a cluster, and this one behind here is gonna move there and blow another war horn. This priest is gonna unleash a firebolt. And does a 17 hit the dragon?
Let me check.
Yeah, you do that.
And while he's checking, Adram and Zuya, what are you doing? And Dragon, what
No,
are
it
you
does
doing?
not.
No, it does not. Okay. So, Firebolt misses. And so what are you guys doing? Seeing what you saw take place.
So, Boris doesn't look like he's acting on his own, right? Like, he
You
looks
have
like
no idea. He's acting now, but from your
his
perspective...
eyes are all black,
Mm-hmm.
and he has less armor, and he's just swinging an axe.
Right. Oh, yeah, that reminds me.
Status quo for Boris, then.
On the earpiece, Hero's gonna very panickedly come and say, "What's happening? Is Boris okay? I can't see anything."
Zuya, you want to go? I don't even know how to take this.
And real quick for you, Boris, the way to get your armor class to reflect what's going on, you have to remove both of your bits of armor to bring your armor class down. And then, oh, why is that there? You shouldn't have that there. When did you get an armor of acid resistance, or did you just get it because of you like the look?
That was forever ago. That's just in my bag.
Okay, so we'll unattune that. So remove both bits of armor, so the living plate and the armors or the earrings of armor.
Yep.
Then reapply the earrings of armor. Or no. Why is that bringing it up so high? I had it right the first time. God damn it.
Did you take off the +2 from haste, Boris?
I didn't manually apply that. That's the earrings armor doing that.
Okay. Ah, that's why, because the arm... That's why. Okay. So, because the armor of acid resistance was equipped for some reason. That's why it wasn't changing. Yeah,
I thought it was in my backpack.
yeah, it's in your backpack, but you still have the option to equip it if you.
Oh,
so
shit, you can equip it in your backpack.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but now everything's fixed. So you're.
Yeah, that's unequipped from my bag.
Why? I had it working just right. Oh, okay, yeah. So you would still have the earrings of armor, but they would be unattuned. So your armor class
Oh,
right
they'd
now
be
is
unattuned.
19.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, so and I'll go over with you as it actually becomes prevalent.
Yeah, after this, I would.
Yeah, need it.
Is it just unattuning the earrings and the armor every time?
Yeah.
Okay. Did my hilt have to go unattuned too?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. What is Zuya doing? Sorry.
Zuya's kind of in shock, so he doesn't know what to do. But the dragon is going to move up. He's going to do his multi-attack.
You gotta breath those guys. They're just sitting.
Yeah,
there
he's
waiting
going
for
to.
you. He's just sit. They're just sitting waiting for it. They're asking for it.
I don't think any of those hit.
They do not.
Light him up though.
And now he's going to do his breath weapon. And each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw.
What's the DC?
It is 13.
They all fail. Oh, some damage.
Haha, nice. Can Boris hear us over the rings?
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's all right, buddy.
Still some
So-
blamage.
Yeah, still some blamage. Now, will that still hit this guy? The guy out and alone?
With
that
the
guy?
opening from the gate that has been sundered, yes.
Okay.
So, and with a natural 20, he's going to succeed.
Oh, okay, of course.
All right.
So that's oh, he takes half, so he takes 1 damage.
Yeah.
1 cold damage.
Tickled a little. You froze his nose hairs.
Yep.
All right. So,
That's what it feels to chew 5 gum.
this is how it feels, or this is how it chews to feel 5 gum.
Oh god.
All right. So, bringing us to Adram, Zuya's actual physical body, and yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move. Kind of fly a little bit forward, and I'll scream out, "Boris, are you with us?" Any response?
Nope. You hear him like.
Oh lord.
All right.
I really only hear rage.
In that case, he's going to call out for Lathander's aid and cast aid on let me double check. He's going to cast aid on Boris, the dragon, and Zuya.
Okay. Is that another concentration spell?
Nope.
Okay.
It is an 8-hour spell. I'll click it in a second. And it shouldn't say healing. It should say
Aid damage.
temp hit points. So all 3 of those guys, their hit point maximum goes up by 10. And their current hit points increases to 10. Or 10.
By 10. Yeah, so it's like you got 10 temporary hit points. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So if they're at their max and they haven't been damaged, then it's 10 temporary hit points. And if they are damaged, then they get healed for 10.
Would those
but
temporary
it's-
hit points stack on top of
Nope,
the ones that they
they
already have from
overwrite.
here?
But it raises their max healing or hit points by 10 as well. So if they were at 100, they're now at 110 max. And I am going to allow, if possible. Actually, let me throw this. I'm going to allow, if possible, Boris to do a reaction attack.
So with a 51, that would not work.
Well, it doesn't get to do 2. Remember?
Yeah, it doesn't get
to do
2.
Yeah, so I don't get to choose 2 people, but I choose
Right.
Boris if he can do it.
Okay.
I don't know with his state of what he's in, but
So, yeah, he'll take another massive swing. And what's your modifier for your Cursed Iron Fang?
Here I'll hit this out for you. Fine. Or I can just give it to you.
I'll take my roll because it's better.
Okay. Yeah.
16 plus 13 is what?
Oh, you see the modifier there?
32? 31?
Yeah.
No, 29. Math. I love math.
Math.
All right. So, yeah, there is another mighty cleave to one of the orcs in front of him. It does a hefty blow. That's going to be it for
Weapons.
It's just huffing and puffing of the rage.
All right. 18 is going to hit
Okay.
the orc. Yep. So most of the damage is... All right.
Plus 11, so 31.
So your spiritual weapon comes down and cleaves the orc in front of it in twain. And I'm going to just start clearing the map as best I can. You know, because messy. Ah!
Whoa!
Whoa!
The whole ground is shaking.
Oh
Panic.
god!
Earthquake! Earthquake!
Join if you can hear us. Run.
Oh,
Save
for
yourself.
RP reasons, what has Potop been doing this whole time?
So Potot at this point has made his way into the barn and is holding up the potato spud, and just using that as, or like he's hiding in the corner of the barn next to the other warrior holding up the potato spud. Like
encouraging that person with the potato.
that doesn't sound very fun.
I wonder if
Funny,
Patat ever
but-
heard about the Agmar exclusive, the potato and the spud one-man play.
It's funny, but you know, fuck it. I'll start rolling for Patat. All right, so bring us to the end of these barricades here will have been broken down and burned away, and dropping their spell of firewall, wall of fire, firewall. These are going to begin moving in and launch a series of firebolts at the top of the roof of the house. That's going to be dexterity saves from Ernid, the priest, and Torin.
No one saw you trip, Torin. Don't worry about it.
18 blamage. Literally, because it was literally a blam. And Ernid succeeds, so that's 9 damage to him. The monk holding him succeeds, but still. Oh, he's resistant to fire. Alright, moving us to B.
Hmm. So, if possible, I'd like to invisibly make my way towards the closest. I'm not sure what to call this creature.
From what you've seen
Brain
of him,
wants to say fire mummy.
he's kind of like a fire or a flame monk, fire monk.
Okay.
He uses some of the same abilities that you saw as the earthen cult, just with a fire tint instead of an earthen tint.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gonna have to kick
Well.
that corpse out of the way.
First corpse we kicked.
I'd like to get right up on him. I'm gonna whip out Drown
Okay,
and try to pierce him.
go for it.
Cool. Now, because I'm invisible, I do get advantage.
Yes.
So
Why'd
let's
you have
hope
to
this
go
goes
there?
through. So close.
29. That is definitely going to hit.
Heck yeah, brother.
Excellent.
If only you guys could see how eloquently Torin wields his
Yeah.
drown.
hmm
And
Only.
Torn's gonna do like the coolest
Right.
shit in the entire fight, and nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah,
and this is
I'll take his word for it.
unfortunately you guys can't see this, but as he pulls drown out, his hair that over the last couple of weeks have been slightly getting streaks of white in it go completely white. And his skin gets this kind of bluish tint to it. Only slightly. And whipping drown out in a eloquent fencing fashion, does a forward thrust and into the side of this monk creature and deals a pretty hefty hit. Nice.
Out of nowhere.
Nice.
Which is
So, in retaliation, not knowing what the hell just happened, this monk is going to take 2 strikes at advantage because Ernid is stunned. Oh, he would have failed that saved already, or automatically because he's stunned.
You can't retcon it.
Give me what I want. That is going to hit. And then second strike. Also going to hit. So that is going to be...
didn't save him.
Fire damage. 4 fire damage. Okay. He is not looking very good.
Jazzy cat.
No! Bitch! This orc is going to let out a twisted laugh and then kick the Emerald Enclave member. And let's see if it's gonna hit. Ooh, 19. Hit. Straight saving throw for the Emerald. And he fails. So the 8 damage, and then he falls off the roof and plummets down the 40 feet to the ground.
Oh no.
And Torn, from your vantage point, you hear a crack of bone as he lands on the ground. Ooh. Ooh. With his movement, gonna move his way here. The monk is going to use its swift movement to get here. Athletics check to see if he loses any movement. He does. Okay, so that is as far as he is able to go. But he will make 2 punch attacks at the dragon, and you watch as he unleashes his fist. The balls of fire, or there's slight balls of fire that erupt from it, and it's going towards the dragon. And a 20 to hit, and then a 14 to hit. The dragon. So yeah.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit?
Meets it, beats it.
Gotcha. Alright. So that's 4 points of bludgeoning damage and then 2 points of fire damage if it's a cold dragon, right? So is it vulnerable?
It does cold damage, but it has fire resistance.
Okay, so if it's resistant to fire, it would only take 1 damage from the fire.
Yep.
So a grand total of 5.
Okay.
Alright. Works back here. Unleash a volley of spears. And going to he's elsewhere. He's in the house. Yeah. They don't. Oh, they hit Erned. He's there. Okay. Erned is not very happy. Another round passes as the wall of fire is up and roaring. And it is going to cause slight or bits of the barricades you've created to fall.
Oh no.
Right, those maintaining those up. Then this set, realizing what's going on, and actually move their this way and begin making their round. These guys are maintaining their fire. Alright. Those. Let's see, what would Potat do? Shit.
Don't even bother. You have so much on your plate, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going with our original thing of Potat hiding in the corner here.
Potat is doing Potat things.
Yeah, praying to the Spud God. Oh, right. Nothing in H. Everything has happened. So now that moves us to D.
D's nuts.
This guy is going to see the attacks unleashed by the giant manticore in the air and is going to launch a fireball at the manticore. So that's going to be a dexterity saving throw from Murderface, but Wub, seeing as you'll be making the check as well, you guys can make me the choice if you want to do it at advantage or if you want to do it separately. Well, that's saved, so...
I was actually going to ask if I could somehow give Murderface advantage on it.
Yeah.
Like somehow direct him in the right way or something.
He's got reins, right?
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
That's a good way to guide someone for some.
Yeah, Murderface has reins.
Then
He's
do
gonna
it.
listen to you because he trusts everyone in the party. So.
All right, then yeah, I'll give him
friends.
advantage.
You guys have been with him since he was a baby, so he knows you very well.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll again and see.
Uncle
You already
Nas.
saved, but see if you can roll a natural 20.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I can roll a natural 20?
Yeah, roll another dex
Yeah, just another
for a
dex save.
Murderface. All
Okay.
right.
Okay. So that is 21 points of fire damage halved, so that's 10 points of fire damage to Murderface and Wub, as you guys kind of skirt out the way just to get a little bit singed, but you're not taking the full brunt of the attack. And these 10 here are going to okay. They have a little bit of a different ability. So Wub, from your vantage point, you've seen this. This is the first thing that you're seeing. First time seeing these these humanoids in front of you, doing it or really doing anything besides moving in unison, and they all begin waving their hands together, and motes of fire is going to start emitting from the palms of their hands. And when they hold out their hand, a spout of fire is going to unleash from each of them, and they're going to be beginning to basically just almost like a flamethrower bring down some of the palisades. And that's going to be because
What?
four, 6, so that's enough to break down some of what's happening, or some of the palisades, but not all of them. Okay, that'll be that turn, and so that brings us to Mr. Murderface and Wub.
Take your shots first, man.
As a bonus action, it was this guy that threw the wrong thing. It was this guy that threw the fireball at us, correct?
Yes.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm going to move my hunter's mark to that guy.
Okay.
And then
Blammo.
boom.
Nice hit.
Nat 20 to hit, and
Oh,
thunder damage.
Dirty.
Dirty.
It's so dirty. Wubba, you're so dirty.
That means he
So-
rolled a 4.
What kind of damage was it?
Yeah, I
Thunder.
rolled a 4.
It's so
Yeah, thunder
overpowered.
damage.
So it was a 2.
So it was the 2.
Okay. So that's 17
And then-
damage.
We'll go ahead and add that on there. I will re-roll the D8 with my piercer ability for one more. Again, I hate this. I hate this feat.
Well, it's amazing when you do crit, because then you get that extra.
So they'll do
damage
7 damage. But then I'm gonna shoot him again. Oh, 18 to hit.
The 18 will hit.
Haha! Take that. And that one is going to be lightning damage.
Okay.
That is the
Nice.
4 lightning. My bad. And just for extra measure, haha, take a 6 for my hunter's mark.
Awesome. All right.
Bastard.
Pretty hefty hits. So, and so that brings us to Murderface.
Murderface is going to launch some tail spikes at that guy.
Okay. And do either of you want to move from your position?
Wub, do you want to go anywhere?
I think this is a good spot, unless you want to go higher up in the air or move somewhere
Yeah,
within the section.
I was gonna fire off some tail spikes and go higher and hope that we go high enough to outrange a fireball.
Okay. So Murderface has 60 feet of
'cause-
movement. You're about 30 feet in the air, so you'd be about 90 feet right at the
Yeah.
max. Okay.
Just for your, I guess technically meta knowledge, but because of my Vita goggles, as long as you stay within 320 feet, I can nail these fuckers.
Oh my god.
Not a problem.
I thought that was a thing. Murderface is just going up, and But
You should really
before
just
you
go in the
cut-
middle up here. Just go all the way up. You can shoot literally anybody you want.
And who are you aiming that at? The one that launched the firebolt or fireball
I'll
at you?
launch the fireball. Yeah.
That hits.
Technically, you can
And
go 200 feet and just have to roll a disadvantage.
Yeah.
so those tail spikes fly out and impale in several different spots, and that fire priest drops.
Aha, nice.
All right.
So now we just got to get rid of these guys because they're burning away our defenses.
Then we have Hira. You have your turn now.
Good stuff. You knew what I was going for, Boris.
Okay, she's gonna fly up over the fence, kind of like above it, just within reach, and she's gonna be hovering
How long do your
She's
wings
gonna-
last?
a minute. And it's only been
5 rounds.
like 5 or 6 rounds.
Okay.
And she's going to make a bunch of attacks.
26 hits. 19 hits.
Yeah, she's gonna direct one at each of them.
Okay. So, the first one that you strike is one that Wub has already shot. So, you take the butt of your halberd and drive that crossbow bolt even further into his chest, and he is no more. Bringing the halberd around into the chest of one adjacent to it. That 19 is going to hit with, let's see, 13 plus 6 and 11.
Plus the spirit shroud
20,
I rolled for each attack.
26, 37. All right. 37 is going to bring him to a very painful and cold place. The one just behind it, still within your reach, it's going to be the 26 to hit, so 24 plus 36.
So I should have hit 3 of
8.
them.
Right, you did. So the first one was the one directly in front of you with your polearm master.
Mhm.
For roll RP reasons. The second one was this one here. And then there's another one behind here.
Hell yeah. Did any of them not die? Because I still have my radiant damage from Radiant Soul.
So I'm including that plus 11 from the radiant damage.
Oh, okay.
And the one he can go away. Slowly just clearing off this goddamn map. Ah! Good effing. Alright, and so the one behind is the one that takes the 6, 8, 49 damage. Holy shit. Yeah, that drops the one behind down. So you still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more orcs in front of you.
Just clean it
5,
up.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bringing us to G.
As a free action, she's also just gonna shout into the earpiece more about asking, "Is Boris okay?" Because all she heard was a drum yell, "Boris!" So for all she knows, he could be dead. She has no idea what's happening.
For the record, the drum still has no idea what's happening.
Yeah, Zuya is still dumbfounded.
Can they at least tell her that he's not dead?
We don't know.
God, how many dicks were drawn in this? Holy
That's Tom. That's Tom.
Tom.
I tried to
It
cover
was
up
the best. It was the best form of defense that I could think of.
when we
They
said
wouldn't
there
want
was.
to touch our fences. They
But
just
you
would-
think these cultists are homophobic?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they have acceptance in their hearts.
Dude,
so-
they're literally flaming.
yeah, true.
All right, so
They,
these
they were
three
running into them on purpose.
going to make. Oh my god, a 2, a 3, and an 8. Nope. You're definitely you guys are carrying this shit because you're the people you've tried to help are not doing very much.
I feel like they're just like half trying. They really just want us to keep them safe, but they don't want to like act like they did nothing. So they're just like half-heartedly like making
Ah!
shots. So they're like, "Oh, I was trying. I
Yeah,
just
but
kept
at this point,
missing."
they should just all go inside because all they're doing is just dying. They're not doing anything helpful. If anything, they're getting in the way of all of our abilities because we don't want to hurt them.
Hey, if they're taking the hits, that means we aren't.
They aren't taking the hits
I mean, some of them have taken some hits.
and then died.
Better them than us.
So is it really we saved the area if everyone's dead except for
Yeah.
one
There's
small
still people-
cowering
there's
guy in the
gonna
still
walk
park?
up
people in the
and
house.
attack the orcs, and so that's not gonna do anything. He's more petrified by the fact that Boris is now this large lumbering creature, and that brings us back to section
lumbering
A. So Boris roaring, you begin charge the ice shield orcs in front of you, and being used to fighting these orcs time and time again from different sieges that they've tried to stage on site in your small town. You begin carving flesh from the bone of the orcs in front of you. Listening out, you can hear the small shouts of kobolds and the screams of the village under siege as you fade, or those sounds begin to fade from your ears, and a deep, echoing voice begins to creep into your mind, growing louder and louder, drowning out the rest. More. As you cut a deep gash into the orcs in front of you's chest. More. You remove an arm from one's torso. More. And you bury the head of your axe into the midsection of another orc. And finally, more. The voice ringing in your ears at this point as you cleave the head from the shoulders of the final orc standing in front of you. Blinded with rage, the voice still shouting in your ears, and the attackers now lifeless, you begin to hack each of the corpses into bloody pieces. In the real world, he's going to take, it's a plus 13 for your fang, or your blade, right?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay, in the real world, that is going to be 18 that hits, and then another strike. 19, so that's going to hit 2, and it's what, 2d6?
2d6 plus 9.
Ooh, 18.
And then it does 3d8 thunder as well.
Is that only on a crit?
Let me see here. I believe that's every time it hits.
No, that's me.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
on a
yours.
crit. I do the thunder damage.
Okay. So, 8, 17, and then it's a single d8 for thunder.
3d8.
So, those of you standing up front watch as Boris brings up the Iron Fang blade and cleaves through two of the orcs standing in front of you, and actually also with the wide swipe cleaves into the Order of the Gauntlet warrior that is standing adjacent to these orcs. And you see the Iron Fang blade, which used to just have a kind of rough, coarse sheen to it, now is almost made of completely made of stone. And the hilt, right in the center of the handguard, there's a small mote of crackling energy, and as the blade makes contact with its three targets, it flashes, and that thunderous energy is pulsed into the orcs in front. Dropping this one and your Order of the Gauntlet friend.
Oh shit! Friendly
Okay.
fire!
I think his weapon is turning him. Trom will say over the comms.
Fuck,
Okay.
dude.
And then with his movement, Boris is going to storm and charge out here, getting in the face of the one that blew the horn.
Better out there than in here with us.
All right, and so that brings us to Adram, Zuya, and the dragon, as well as these priests. We're going to. So you guys start telling me what you're going to be doing while I start rolling for Blamagio.
You go first, Zuya.
Thanks.
Do some barbecuing.
Well, seeing as things are coming down off the roof, Z is gonna move back over here. The dragon is going to attack this last priest up here with his rend attacks.
Okay, cool. Does a go ahead and roll me some hits and damage. Does a 18 and a 29 hit you, Adram?
18 and a 29?
Yes.
18 does not.
Okay. So that
Looks
is-
like 2 hits.
Yep, 2 hits. All right. So that's going to be 7
Damage.
points of bludgeoning damage, and then 2 points of fire damage. 9 total against you as this. You're still flying up in the air, right? Yeah. So as this monk underneath you steps up and punches, the flame will shoot out of his hand, almost closing the distance between you. Your rend attack is going to drop this cult. So this one to Death's Door.
Okay.
And so both of your attacks were needed to do that. So you're doing your cone again.
Yes. Crap.
Yeah, you save on your Constitution.
I don't know how to do it without hitting Boris.
I think you just gotta do it.
Just do it, man. He's mostly stoned now, anyways.
Alright. I'm gonna do it to hopefully get from here to my to there.
Okay. All right. So and it's a what's the DC? for the-
DC Dexterity 13.
13. Okay.
So that should cover the 2 guys in front of me. Is that this guy still a guy?
Yep, he's still a guy.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 5. And I will use black for Boris because it's appropriate. Ooh,
I will roll my dice so you know what damage to have and not
Ooh.
have. Fuck. 4 cold damage.
Okay, so it looks like the orcs all in the cone save, but Boris, you take the full 4 damage. So these guys are down 2. All right, got it.
Luckily, he's got 10 health.
And the Rend was the one that hit against that. I got damage. Boris did some damage to this one, so this one is down further. Okay, so all right. And realizing the turn of tide, these guys are going to begin moving their way up to the top of the forge. All right. Adram?
He's gonna call out over the comms. I don't know what's wrong with Boris, but I'm gonna see if I can shake him. And I am going to move. Basically, like fly up, so I'm like way above, and then fly down.
Okay.
So the same type of movement, just not a straight across. And technically in the same. Need to do touch.
Ah, be careful to be that close to him.
I wouldn't want to be that close to me.
Fine.
You just saw him like delete.
I
the
know. Well,
gauntlet thing.
yeah, I can fly away, but I'll fly
But Drum's
exactly.
got balls on him.
Trump's got balls of steel.
I'll move forward. I'll spend some sorcery points and do a range touch attack with my distance spell. I will cast on my good buddy, mostly misunderstood. I can find it. My last 4th level spell, Death Ward.
Okay. And
Just in case whatever he's doing ends up killing him. If he drops to 0 hit points, he does not drop to 0 hit points. He drops to 1.
Okay.
Basically, it saves him.
All right. Good
He
roll.
also can do a reaction if you would so choose to after I spiritual weapon. And I'll move over to this guy since the dragon's taking care of those other guys. And I will roll. $19 to hit.
19 to hit the orc right there?
Yeah, the guy right
Yeah,
above
that
him.
hits.
This plus 11. 26. 15 points of force damage, 11 of radiant, if that matters.
Okay. Alright.
And yeah, so like I'll call over the comms that I think his weapon is turning him.
He does.
He can react.
Yep, and he takes that reaction. Right. Dealing. Nice. Okay. Brings us over to B.
Dab.
Get him.
Still invisible, correct? You
Yes.
didn't fail your concentration.
Yes, he saved.
Good.
Excellent.
I got you, fam.
Let's hope I have this guy.
This is what I trained for.
I learned this a month ago. 20
One is gonna hit.
Cool. Damage. 12 damage. Not bad for a wizard, I suppose.
All right.
But I'm going to stab him again. Hopefully this time to death.
You doing a second attack?
I'm a wizard, bro.
I misunderstood by what you said. Okay.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Ernid, with a bit of confidence, seeing this monk in front of him getting hurt without knowing why, assuming 14 plus his modifier is going to hit. Nice. So he's going to bring down his broadsword, and that is going to do it. So as you pierce into this flaming monk, you can see his face kind of turn to your general location, Torin, and that twisted smile is going to turn down to a frown, but you still hear that kind of almost cackling laughter as his body begins to slowly freeze up. And taking that moment, Ernid is going to take his broadsword and just cleave it down, bringing it to a swift end. Get rid of this here. These guys, or this group of 10 guardians, are going to begin moving their way and around, begin funneling into the building, or of the main house. It takes them a few moments to break through the front door, which has been additionally fortified. But you gather from the racket underneath you. Next turn, they will be in the house. These orcs, along with a black dot, going to move as an entire group this way after unleashing a volley of javelins towards the Drina.
Well, that's too goddamn bad.
9 damage to Drina. So you see, or those of you watching see Drina, the Emerald Enclave druid, take a bit of damage from some spears flying through the area. These guys are still holding their wall of fire. That brings down...
Just out of curiosity, because I'm not exactly sure for 5e rules, does Flame Wall disintegrate like arrows and bolts, but not javelins?
They waited, or they threw it,
I'm just not actually sure how the Flame Wall works, because I know it trashes like arrows and stuff, but I didn't know you could throw javelins through it. That's dope as fuck.
It does. It does normally. But
okay.
with taking a closer inspection of some of the javelins that have hit the lot of you, you see that they are made of this... Oop, and I just deleted him.
It's made out of a cheating metal.
Confirmed. He just gone. You can't undo it.
You can't retcon
Just
that.
deleted the big guy.
Yeah, you can't retcon 10 people gone instantly.
Sure I can. No, but they are made of what looks like a heavy stone.
Dope. Cheaters. But okay, I just wasn't sure how exactly Flame Wall worked.
Yeah,
I
normally
have a
it
wizard
deletes.
character that I wanted to prepare Flame Wall for, so I wanted to know for future knowledge.
If you do it in D&D Beyond, you'll have access to some of my homebrew spells. Aha.
Ooh. Oh, did you add your fairy homebrew race fully?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. So I can fiddle with it.
My cousin, I'm sorry to interrupt. My cousin Abby is for the first time playing D&D with some of her friends, and it's a really small social group. And she's playing a fairy, and she's super excited.
Oh, nice.
So
She's, like I said before, she's welcome to sit in and watch.
Yeah.
I'll just serve her mute, and if she has any questions, she can just pop it in the Discord.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Big boy.
But so to answer the question, Flame Wall does disintegrate like all projectiles or whatever still.
Yes. Ooh,
Darn.
with that 19,
Cool, but
he's
darn.
going to athletics down, and with a thud, land on the ground, and then charge over to the water elemental hero, or Zuya, and make
Bitch.
2 hefty swipes at him. Ooh. What's his modifier again? It's just... Where is he? There he is.
He sees a giant water elemental and he's gonna like, ooh, I'm gonna give me some of that? What the fuck?
Yeah, motherfucker! So... A 10 and a 16 to the water elemental.
The 10 does not hit. For the water elemental, am I going with its natural AC or my actual AC?
It's natural AC.
Then the 16 hits.
Okay. So that is going to be a 9 damage as the first one, or as the second swipe cleaves into you, and it is what kind of damage is it? Slashing. So doesn't the elemental have resistance to?
Is that magical or non-magical?
It is a magical.
Okay, just normal damage then.
Okay. So that's 9 points of slashing blamage.
Okay, technically I have that extra health, but okay.
Yeah. And you also need to make a concentration saving throw. Seeing as it's only 9 damage, the DC is 10.
So what am I rolling?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
So the dragon out of existence.
Rip. Still done good.
Yeah.
Did a lot. Yeah. Threw a lot of my plans on the fucking head. God damn, thank God it's
Oh,
gone.
Cool. You have big things? Yeah. Well, we have a dragon.
Pretty much. All right. So that's checked off. Drina gonna take what kind of spells? I should have looked a little bit better. Read. Sorry, guys.
Fine.
Come on, roll 20. This is all right. What the fuck is that spell? I've never understood what that spell is.
And that was with a +4 to my con as a water elemental, by the way.
Yeah, so he's just gonna.
Sometimes the rolls just don't go in your
Yeah.
favor.
Yeah, so he's just.
It was
gonna
bound to happen eventually.
fire. Ooh, I grabbed that.
Is lucky on that at all? Or?
I mean, you do have the lucky feat available, so that's gonna be a dirty 20. Hits.
Oh yeah, you could
I
have
would-
re-rolled with lucky.
And it's going to
Got
be,
3 charges of that
ooh,
for the day.
Ugh,
Yeah.
it's not good.
Are you letting me re-roll it now, or is it too late?
For the sake of brevity, I'll say it's a little late.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 4 fire damage as Drina produces a flame in her hand and throws it at the orc in front of you, Zuya. Let's see. So now we're in H. Nothing there. So glad I didn't stack this as I thought I was going to. Flame Wraiths have gotten a little bit further ahead in clearing out some of this area. Alright. Once they get some of the palisades broken through, they're going to step into the moat a little bit and begin making their way to start burning the barn itself. That brings us to Wubba Lubba and Manticore, Murderface Manticore.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm gonna move my hunter's mark to I guess just one of the 10 people in the group. I can't really select one of them.
Okay.
That guy.
Yeah, that one. And then I'm gonna start blasting. Not with a nat 1, I'm not.
A 17 does not hit. Holy shit, I can actually say to Wub that something doesn't hit.
It's the only time that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
22
22 to hit.
Then he comes back with a 22.
Still funny, a nat 1 and I still roll a 17.
Yeah. Shut up. You jerk. 17.
And that is going to be some radiant blamage. So 6 radiant blamage on top of that.
Okay.
So 17, 6, and let's re-roll that 3. Of course.
Okay,
Of course.
so as you fire this radiant arrow or a crossbow bolt into the group, and it makes contact with the shoulder blade of one of the flame wraiths, you realize that although this does a lot of damage, these guys are a little bit hardier than the orcs that you've been fighting. All right.
Yeet.
So bonus action 2 attacks, and then you and Murderface are moving together. So what's Murderface doing?
Higher.
Does Wob have any guidance?
I mean, at this point, I guess just how many of his tail spikes can he shoot at one time? Just one?
Yeah, one. And he's got 24.
It's RP'd as like several spikes, but they just don't do a lot of
Oh.
damage.
Okay.
Kind of like Fury
I guess
Swipes from
just keep-
Pokemon.
Yeah. I guess just keep
Yeah,
hurling
but-
your spikes in the group. We gotta get that group taken care of before they burn down the barn.
Do you want him to go higher or dive down on him? Or stay?
Potat.
You're 90 feet up, so you couldn't dive
90
on
feet.
him just yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he
yeah,
can
I'm just gonna
technically
walk
do a
down.
lot more damage if he gets up on him, can he? Because he can do his claw attacks and shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
Yes, but claw attacks he'll take damage if he uses his claw.
What?
Sometimes with fiery things, he'll take damage if
he could
they
take
have
damage
fiery
from-
armor.
Who knows? Murderface is gonna launch down some spikes. Aim at those boys that have a hunter's mark on them.
Do it to it, Lars.
Does
Right.
Murderface also have the lucky feet?
No.
Oh my god.
So, the 10, it's the same thing. You're firing into a cluster, so it does, like, kind of graze off of a few of them, doing a little bit of the damage, but not finding absolute purchase. What the fuck is this spell?
Uh-oh.
That's my mama.
Huh.
I don't
Okay,
like to
that's
hear that as Murderface is diving in on a group of people.
All right. They're basically just moving their, or 9 of them are continuing to use the flame spout to burn into the side of the barn, and one of them is going to launch a firebolt at Murderface. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
That does not hit.
Not hit. Perfect. Wait, an 18 against his AC?
It's 20, I guess.
You should have yours on your character sheet. You should have his in your extras. You have his whole little. Oh, his AC is 18, so meets it beats it.
Okay. Meets beats.
2d10.
Oh, there it is.
Wow, that went on an absolute adventure. That's only 3 fire damage. Thank you. Nice. All right.
Take that, bad guy.
Hero, what are we doing?
Let's go blam 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 again.
Okay. Okay, so the 17 and the 14 are not gonna hit, but the 23 will. The first one in front of you, which has taken some decent damage already. So roll me that shroud, and then your just 11. 23, 30. 53 damage. Yeah. Cleaved. Okay. Gathering some confidence of the potato god. Out. And is going to cast Bane on first enemy he sees, which is this one. He is going to be as a negative D4 to attack roll. Concentration. Charisma saves. He does not. Perfect. He is banged. Alright. Orcs with Hira going to be moving in, and so you have 4 up against you now. 4 they're going to take their 4 attacks. It's their modifiers for things. That's not them. Where are they? There they are. Okay, so does a 11 hit?
Nope.
14, natural 1, and then a 20.
Nope.
Okay, so that's their first attacks. Second attacks are... Wow, I can't roll good to save my life. 22 to hit.
Nope.
That's the highest one. So all of them just clustered in around you. With
Dude,
that-
here's ducking and weaving, dude.
Yeah, so that as 4 Ice Shield Orcs try to take 2 swipes at you, they really don't do anything. Yeah, fuck me. Alright. So that brings us to the 3 up on the roof finally again.
I'm like flying though too, so they're just like trying
You
to.
would have to get
jump
within melee, or at least 10 feet to be able to
Yeah.
attack, and they have 10 feet of reach too.
Okay, but it's just really funny because here's like hovering above, and they're just like going stab, stab. And she's going stab, stab.
Alright, so 1 arrow is going to hit the one that is already damaged here in front by the spiritual weapon. Ooh, that's full damage. Sweet. So that's 16. Already been hit pretty hard, so that's going to bring him down. Alright. And that brings us back. Because the other 2 miss. Bringing us back to Boris in his little state.
Boris raging.
Bleeding and spent, you drop the axe to the snowy ground beneath you and begin looking around. Along the trees, along with the chopped bodies, or the bodies chopped into bits that you see another figure lying lying in the cold snow, with a small pool of blood seeping in. Rushing over, you find Victoria, face down in the snow, with an axe protruding from her spine. You see the blood pouring from the massive wound, and as you pull her into her arms, for someone as massive as you try your best to be tender and caring. As you roll her over and hold her into your arms, a frigid and bloody hand reaches up and pulls your gaze to meet her tearing eyes. And she whispers in the meekest of voices, "Save our boy, please." And she says as her hand drops to the small bulge in her belly, and the light fades from your eyes. Your eyes stinging with blood and tears, you pull your hunting knife from its sheath in your boot and stay still above her. What do you do?
Carvin.
Hmm?
Carvin.
So-
baby.
It's making as big of an incision as you can. You reach in, and just as you begin to reach in, your vision blurs again, and you slump forward. Waking, you find yourself in a dark, wet cave with a pair of wrinkled blue snouts and 4 big green eyes staring down at you. And in your broken, bleeding voice, you whisper, Harold? Himmeled? As pain shoots through your body again, your vision clouds in the deep, or fading to utter blackness, and you see yourself standing in a pool of blood. And the voice returns to your thoughts. Reem. And with a sharp gasp, and your eyes now clear, you return to the battlefield, Delmon Ranch. The unit of orcs that had been charging through, you have cleaved through them and now face in front of one of the largest orcs. What do? You now have your Death's Rage ability.
Hell yeah. Death's
What
Rage.
ability?
Death's Rage.
I'll show you guys what that is.
9 damage, that's what that is.
No.
No. Oh, I can't share it.
Should be able to end the spell
Oh,
or
wait.
whatever. Yeah.
There it is. Sorry. Wrong button. Boris, am raging
Yes.
seeing this orc in front of me,
Yes.
having memories of what the orcs have done in the past. Iron Fang now, a giant stone sword. Is going to take 3 fast cleaves on this orc.
Okay. So you're still rolling with
Oh,
your
I'm sorry, I've been doing that wrong.
yeah,
Oh shit!
you're still rolling with your corrupted Iron Fang to hit.
Yeah,
The only difference now is that you get a 4 now. You get advantage on any strength or dexterity saving throws. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. You cannot cast spells or items that require a command word. You also lose your armor bonus, so your AC is now 19.
am I allowed to use my action surge?
Yes, you are able to use your action surge.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure I was able to do that.
And so the only thing that changes mathematically is you add an additional +3 at this point, according to the barbarian or the rage table, to your damage rolls.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Do I roll at advantage for doing damage too with that? Was that what we were saying?
No, that's an ability called Reckless that barbarians get.
Okay, right on.
And you can't cast
So when-
those spells that you have. To
So when I do hit the Iron Fang damage here, we'll just add 3 to each hit, yeah?
I will do it, or we will do it retroactively.
Okay.
So you just roll everything as normal, and we'll just add 3.
Okay, thank you.
So 17 will hit. So that's 17 plus 17 plus 10 plus 3. 26 will hit. So that's 16 plus 19 plus 3. And then 17 plus 9 plus 3. Okay.
Is he still standing? Because Boris is breathing hard and
He is,
he is,
but
Will
barely.
Yeah, Boris is gonna action surge. And And can he do a? Oh fuck! I want to do a brutal strength check thing on him.
Okay.
Like, being the grapple master, can I roll the grapple and then
That
rip
is
the
Strangle him to
off?
death.
so.
Yeah.
It's going to be an attack to hit.
Okay.
Your
Speed on an arm strike.
no, it's still it'll still
It's an attack to hit, but then grapple.
yeah. And then that's going to be a contested strength strength throw, so you would have advantage on that.
Do I just roll? What do
Yeah,
I
roll to hit to see if you can grab him.
Okay. I think I hit that wrong too. I'm sorry, man.
You're good.
Oh. All right.
So
Is that okay?
that still hits. So yeah,
Okay.
so now roll a strength check, just a regular strength check, not a saving throw, at advantage.
Oh, I did not roll at advantage. Well, I guess I didn't need to.
You didn't really need to, because you got the nat 20. Yeah, you now have him grappled in your arms.
Fucked.
I want to pop his head with that strength.
Like a fucking zit.
Okay,
Just like-
we'll consider that. We'll consider that an action from your action surge. Go for it. Roll another strength check at advantage.
And tell him go back to the home.
Better yet, pop his head like the thigh lady and the watermelons.
Did you just roll 2 nat 20s in a row?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
lucky, and I'm unlucky that one because fuck that looks bad. Sorry.
I may do something retroactively. I'll let you roll the
Fired.
lucky here, but may make
Fired.
it to where you can't do lucky with this
Okay.
ability.
Oh, lucky. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But
'Cause,
go ahead and roll, because, I haven't changed it yet.
uh,
12 is enough, because you've already got him grappled. So as you grab him by the throat, you bring Iron Fang up to his throat, and with the combination of the stone blade pressing in and you bringing him closer, you just slowly slide the blade in between his cheeks, slowly carving the top of his face off.
Ooh.
And he
Ooh.
drops, the horn clattering to the side. You still have your movement, and you have a grand total of 10 of these Flame Guardians up here. That, as well
I'm
as
not sure.
one more attack from your action surge.
How can I make it to them? Let's see the distance.
Your movement is 30 feet, so you should be
Oh
able
yeah, I should be able to
to make it just to them.
just to them. Oh,
Okay, one more attack.
and
25 is going to hit.
oh man, I didn't roll the damage rate on that.
Oh, okay. So, just for your own sake, you in that one bit of one turn, you did 97 damage.
And pop the guy's head like a zip with
And
an iron.
33 to one of them. These guys are a little hardier, but you are able to bring one very close to death. I'm
Very
spitting
close.
Yeah, I'm spitting everywhere. I'm got the lift
close.
going. So that brings us to a Drum, Zuya, and your spiritual weapon. These guys are going to continue moving underneath the forge. And run. Dun, 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 dun.
How many
They're
bad guys
are they
up-
watching through the windows, face pressed against the glass?
How many bad guys are up on the house?
There is currently none up on the house. all of them have made their way down. There's one right here, one right here. You still got 2 orcs in the vicinity.
What is going on with this guy in front of me?
Right.
He's baned.
Yes,
Baned,
he is
okay.
baned. All right. Let's see. All right. So he is going to still, or with it being him moving in A, along with you guys, he's going to make 2 great axe attacks against you, Zuya. Both of them having a D4 negative against them. So 18 plus 6 is 24. So 22 to hit, and then
Hits.
and then an 11 to hit.
22 hits.
Oh, ooh, 13 damage.
Okay.
All right, so
That's okay. I'm going to move right on top of him and whelm him.
okay, and that is a strength saving throw.
Yes.
All right, so strength. That's 10 minus a D4. Wow, that just got rid of his bonus. So a 6.
Okay. Let me roll some damage.
He's inside Zuya. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, we're losing John.
That's
Uh-oh.
15. That's 15 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you are grappled.
Nice. So the grappled is... Let's see, because I have the handy dandy help sheet.
Escape is a DC 14.
Okay. And when you are grappled, you speed becomes 0. Yeah. So that's it. Speed becomes 0. Right.
My turn.
Yes.
Over here, these guys,
Mm-hmm.
are they? This big guy is still worth 10.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've always wanted to do this. Kyle, you ready to roll a bunch of stuff?
Okay.
I am going to fly up another, let's see, 30, let's see, 50 feet. I'd be able to see these guys, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to spend my 1 6th level spell. And I know they'll probably have resistances. But I'm going to drop a fireball on them.
At 6th level.
6th level.
Okay. What's the DC?
Holy shit.
DC is 20, Dex 20. And I'm going to cast that right now. And I choose one of them. I've always wanted to see this much dice roll. Oh, it wasn't that good. I had a bunch of ones. And one of the people is going to get tinked for an 11 extra radiant damage. I'll let you decide. I don't care who.
So this group here
So it should encompass every one of them.
fails. And so that's 55 damage.
It's 44 damage to everyone, and then just choose one of them, and they have 54.
So
55.
along with the damage that Torin had already smacked him against, they are gone.
Oh.
What about these guys down here?
These guys, or these are the ones that would be encompassed with the spell. It doesn't increase the radius.
Yeah, but it's a 20-foot.
Okay.
You're
I didn't
fucking up
clump
his
him. You
plan.
clumped him. I didn't clump him.
He's so mad.
And
wish I
that's
could
gonna
see his face
be a success on them. And with their fire resistance, half of that would be 22, half of that would be 11. Okay.
Yep. And then bonus action. This thing's gonna move up.
Bonus action, another fireball.
I don't have enough spell sorcery
That'd be
points.
hilarious.
I gotta change in some spell slots for sorcery points. But so he's gonna move up and swing at whoever looks the most damaged, or at least damaged. Sorry.
Okay.
And Juby.
That's my word.
Sorry, I wanted
26 hits.
to channel it.
It works, man. I tell you, that Hachubi works.
Definitely works. Did you add the 11 to one of those guys?
Yes.
Okay. And then so just 17 damage.
All right. With the damage that they've already taken, one is going to fall.
And that would be my turn. I'm going to call out to Boris and say, Boris, are you with us? He's pretty far away, but it seems like he's...
Yeah, he got nothing.
Boris is just roaring
We have,
out there.
we have the walkie-talkie rings too.
Yeah. It's just I'm seeing if... Checking in on him.
He's just chopping away.
If you like listen in on the ring, if he has open mic, on his ring, you just hear like constant screaming.
Boris is just fucking hot micing. Everyone mutes him immediately.
Boris is hot micing. Yeah, you'd have to mute him. It's just
Okay. So that's
echoing.
the end of Orc Boy gonna try to make an attack against the... Can the spiritual weapon be attacked?
I don't think so. I think it's an item. It's not a
Oh.
creature. I think if you use like a shatter or something, like something
Okay.
that affects.
Well, then he's gonna make his way over towards Hotot because he can't reach you with flying.
Would that be an attack of opportunity, or because it's an object, it wouldn't?
I don't think they can take attacks of opportunities.
The spiritual weapon can't, but a drum can if you're within my space.
Well, he would have walked through. And then the flame to Boyo back there is going to launch a... You know what? Actually, what he's going to do... I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yes.
Certainly. Pajubi.
Oh,
All right. All right. You succeed.
Success.
Um,
Huzzah.
and you would have probably recognized with that this is a enchantment spell that he was attempting to cast.
Shake
and
his
then-
head off.
and
Not cool, man.
then move that way towards the water elemental like a fool, bringing us to B.
Zuya, kill him.
Oh wait, there's. You go ahead with your turns, Torin, because these flame element or flame guardians are gonna start trying to pummel on board.
All right. So that group that was trying to break into the house, have they gotten inside yet?
Yes, there's a
Okay.
group of 5 left outside.
Hmm.
And you hear the shouts of the people that have taken shelter inside the house and the footsteps rumbling underneath.
So are those two in here? Are those like groups of 10, or are those actual flame guardians?
They're groups of 10. The larger tokens are in groups of 10.
Okay.
Mm. Okay. So I'm going to cast on this group of 5 outside Vitrolic Sphere.
Ooh.
So they need a dexterity save. DC 20. My fucking ears.
Yeah, they fail.
Excellent.
Blammo.
That's 36 points of acid damage.
Damn. Okay.
This is Corn's shit, dude.
They're gonna melt to the bone.
Yeah, with the amount of damage, you do make a hefty hit on that final 5, and they stop in their tracks and look up to see nothing other than Ernid. But they are severely damaged.
Is Ernid shitting his pants right now? Watching Torin do this?
Yeah, Torin, if you want, you can make me a perception check.
You mean not watching Torin do this?
13.
Oh yeah, Torin's
Yeah,
still invisible.
You smell fecal matter.
Uh,
You don't see it,
I'm
but
gonna
you smell it.
miss this.
He can't even see Torin right now. All he sees is these things just like being fucking acid, like melted out
Misty
of nowhere.
step.
Yeah, I'm gonna Misty Step from the roof down in front of this group of 5.
Okay.
Just to mark it on my map. Let's see, Alt.
And just for Boris, seeing as you approach these guys, they didn't make an action this last turn. This was my mistake. You had 2 20s to hit, a 17 to hit, and a natural 20, bringing it to a 25.
Ooh. Anything above 19 net.
Okay. That going. I love rolling a lot of dice.
Oh, I don't like that.
So 22 slashing damage, and then
Isn't it halved because of his deathly rage?
they are non-magical, so it would be halved, and then it's 4 points of fire damage, and that is not halved.
Okay. So
15 total.
Thank you.
Okay. Ernid is going to take a shot, which I should have done already. A 16. So that's going to hit
lot to keep
one
track
of
of.
them. And then I'm going to do some damage. He's going to drop one of the ones that is back there. So you now have a group of 4 in front of you, Torin. The other 4 are storming through the house.
Ernid shits his pants but still gets a shot off.
Yeah. These ice orcs over here, realizing what just happened, are beginning to reverse course.
Back it up, back it up.
By now, these guardians, their flame wall, have done their duty and gotten rid of the grouping in the house or in front. Right.
But it's still dug deep, though.
Yes. And they're going to unleash another round of fireballs. So that's going to be a disadvantage dexterity for Drina, which she still saves. However, that is enough to bring her unconscious. she's not dead. She is unconscious. Oh.
Darn peasants.
Well, she's a Emerald Enclave member. Same with Zuya.
She sounds like a peasant to me.
Oh no! All
Well,
right.
she's taking a
Not
couple
a member of our
fireballs.
party. Peasant.
Ooh. I'm hearing some classism there, sir.
Whoa. You want to talk to Wub about classism? Hold the fucking phone now, sir.
Well, it is your turn, so you can tell me about it as you shoot some damage.
Aw, shit.
Blamage.
Alright, well, I'm gonna pop my first shot at the guy that is Hunter's marked still. 25 to hit.
Hits.
Awesome. And that's going to be the force damage. So 4 force damage on top of that. With another 3. So 16 piercing and 4 force.
Okay, brings one down. Got it.
And then I'm going to move my hunter's mark to another guy.
Okay.
And then I'm going to blast him
Okay.
for 33 to hit.
Fuck!
What the fuck?
Haha!
Wow.
I don't need to say that hits.
And that's going to be another force damage. Lit.
You don't have to say it doesn't hit unless he rolls on that one.
So 6 force damage. We'll hit him with both. I'm going to re-roll that one with my pièce of feet. There we go. So 7, 14, 21 piercing and 6 force damage on the second attack.
Okay, so that leaves you with 7 left of the group of 10.
Yep.
And what is Manticore, Murderface Manticore doing?
Murderface is launching off many more tail spikes.
Got it.
Many much more.
And as you launch these off, scraping off some of them, they have made their way into the barn. And from the two, or if you want, well, make me a perception check.
All right. He already rolled. I was actually wondering if I could somehow like try to direct Murderface like where to shoot his tail spikes, if that would be possible.
You will be able to if you tell me before he rolls.
Nice. And you said a perception?
Yes.
Dope.
Got
30,
it.
20.
Okay, and so I'll do this in unison. So, Torin, with your perception check as well, both of you are able to hear now the sound. Like this is rather than the sounds of like combat, fighting, and destroying things, they are searching. Seems like they're throwing things aside, or opening different crates, opening different segments, and even in the house with you, Torin, they're pulling away. Like opening drawers and things along that line.
Wait, are they're in the house?
Yeah, there's 5 of them in the
barn.
house, and there's 7 of them in the barn. And the 5 that are in the house are searching. Same with the 7 that are in the barn.
Ooh. Go get the orb.
Yeah,
you're
right.
And then the
I'm aware.
4 that are attacking, or that are in front of Hira, are going to take their strikes.
What? Why can't I do it first?
Because I said so!
Because you don't want me to kill them first, huh?
Yeah! So, we've got a 21 to hit, a 9 to hit, and another 9 to hit.
None of them hit.
Okay. 25 to hit,
That does hit.
and then a 12 and a 16.
Nope.
Hey, so that is gonna be 9 points of slashing damage. That'll make your attacks, Miss Freaking. I want to attack first, lady.
You just didn't want me to kill them.
Well, even if you kill all of them, you're only gonna, Okay, so all 3 hit. Are you doing it separately on different ones?
Yes.
14, 10, 3, 11. And that's enough for one. Okay. And whoa, that's wrong. Okay, so there are 2 that are brought down in front of you from previous damage. Ah! He got real big.
Ah!
Oh wow, okay, never mind. There's only 1 in front of you now because this one that I thought was a 4th one was dead. So
Is there any chance I can grab him and Misty Step with him?
no, Misty Step. You cannot take a target with you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an ability called Thunder Step, or
All right.
as
I'm gonna tell Wub that there's 1 left over here, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to Misty Step.
you've already
into
used
the
your
barn.
bonus action for Polar
Oh
Master.
fuck. Okay.
Plus, we're a bit busy.
Well, they're in the barn now, so you can't see them.
You can see the stragglers in the flames that are coming up around the barn.
I know they're in the barn though. I literally just watched them walk in there, dude.
I know. I don't want to sit here and make 1 attack against this guy, but
Neither do I.
And okay.
whatever. This single guy, if he gets in, what the fuck ever. There's 7 in there, so fuck. I won't even be. Never mind. I can't do anything. I'll sit here.
Okay. Having nothing left to do over here, this one is gonna take his movement and close the distance between you. Having nothing left over to do over here, they're not gonna do much other than...
Was he out of reach before?
No, he was still in reach. Right, remember he's got 10 feet of reach, but he can still step up.
Mhm.
Alright, that brings us back over to A. Pretty quickly, sweet. So, Adram, Zuya, and Boris, and we'll put this at the... we'll do one more section, just so we can bring it to a close.
What is this guy that I just pinged?
He is a, his name is Ernid Stoutblade. He's a member of the,
Okay.
yeah, that's one of your buddies.
Okay. Boris will not charge him.
He's up on the roof anyway.
Okay.
Unless you can, you know, walk vertically.
No, but on the map he's on the ground, so... And his red border made me think he was one of the bad guys, so I was like, I'm gonna fucking charge that guy after I deal with these guys.
Oh god. Death's Rage. Friendly fire.
But then now that I realize that he's a friendly guy, I'm looking at the guys over in front of where I see Invisible Torin, but I'm gonna deal with these guys first. It looks like it's only me in this area and those guys, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Boris is making some swings.
All right. Okay. All 3 are going to be able to hit different targets. All right. Jesus Christ, that's consistent. All right, so you bring 4 more down, leaving you to a total of 3 in front of you.
Ooh. 3 guys left, so that's one more attack, basically.
Do you have another action surge?
Yeah, I have another action surge.
Okay, so while you roll me some attacks, what is Adram and Zuya doing?
I am going to roll a d6 to see if I get my thingy back.
Okay.
I do. So I am going to move on top of this monk. Oh,
Okay.
wait. And I'm going to suck him in, so give me another strength check.
That is a 16 plus 2, 18.
And that
Okay, then he gets spit out then.
Okay. So you still have the org, which he's
Yep.
able to make a strength check and is still maintained. So roll me some whelm damage.
Okay, another.
But he's still able to make his attacks because he's restrained, so his movement is 0. He just can't move. He can still attack. Say
So, why did it roll a d6? Oh, that was, yeah. So 13 damage.
okay. That's actually enough. So
Kyle,
he goes to take an attack and doesn't. What's up?
I'm sorry, I still got a move action, yeah?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay. I was gonna charge these guys, or I always say charge, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna run at them.
Okay.
I'm gonna come over here and come at them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's dead, released from the whelm. That was your action. You moved. You still have a bonus action, Zuya.
There wasn't an action. It was just
Oh, that's a base ability? Okay, so.
Yeah, that's when I move on top of somebody.
Okay, cool.
That's a thing. So I have my multi attack, which is 2 slam attacks.
Okay. Nice.
Got him.
Nice. Okay. That's enough for him, too, because he's already been hurt. Pretty badly. Fuck. Okay. Alright, and a drum.
A drum is going to move forward here. Oop. And he is going to use his last sorcery point before I have to refill him to twin a healing word.
Okay.
Onto Hira and Wubba.
Fuck
And,
yeah.
Does Healing Word restore temporaries?
No.
Well, you
This
could
is just
pick
for
a
a
different
chance.
target.
Well, this is just for a chance to possibly have you attack with a reaction. It's everyone's spread out everywhere. All the people are out in the battle.
Say the thing. Say the thing.
So I am going to first roll this.
Alright. Two reactions.
I'm then gonna cast the first level Healing Word Twin. So here, I don't know if do you need any healing?
Exactly. I need 3 points of healing.
Okay.
They
well,
burn
then
through my temp HP.
I won't go into the next thing to heal you more because you don't need it. And then Wubba, do you need any healing at all?
No.
Okay, then I won't bother with that either. Okay, so that is 2 reactions from you guys. Pick your targets, and then that was a spell that was a bonus action. I can still do a cantrip at a regular action. Correct? Kyle?
What?
I cast a spell bonus action. I can do a cantrip action.
Yes.
Okay. And then I will toll the dead.
Toll the dead.
Who can I see?
An ice shield will work behind you.
Oh, has he been damaged?
No. Yes, he has.
Okay. I will toll the dead that boy.
Can I do my reaction?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. And so free. All right.
31 damage.
And he fails. Sweet. That hits. That cleaves through the last one. Destroys him.
31 to this dude. Nice.
Can I still shoot one of the stragglers of these flame wraiths down here?
Yeah, fire a shot.
Dope.
Hits. All right. So as you hit him in the ankle, as he's walking out.
That'll be
Or walking.
radiant damage that it hits.
Ooh,
him
that
with.
hurts. Okay. So
His Achilles heel. He's not running anywhere.
as 5 of them that are inside the house, you hear a bunch of rustling around, and Torin and Boris, who are close enough, you're able to hear a whistle kind of echo throughout the entire area. And the 5 that are in the house vacate the area. They start running out of the door. I'll give both of you one attack of opportunity if you would like to take it. But as they all make their way out, one of the further ones that was leaving the line, or the end of the line, 18 is going to hit. Or towards the end of the line, he's going to throw up his hand, and a flare is going to spark and fly into the air. 18 is going to hit, so roll me some damage. And let me roll a percentile. Okay. All right. So both of you are able to bring a single one down, leaving you with now 8 that are charging out, and they begin running. And in a similar fashion as the
they. I'm sorry.
I already gave you it.
Yeah. I was gonna do a bonus action quick toss.
So you can only do bonus actions on your turn. They will throw up this flare, and then flame step 60 feet away. These guys continue running.
Oh, my turn.
These guys flame step. End up here. These guys, hearing the whistle, will revert course out and in just a matter of moments, as all of you are kind of looking around, wondering what, or seeing this all take place, those that flame stepped away, that large doorway of fire is going to open up again, and they are going to step through. And as as they begin making their way through, the clusters of casters that have been maintaining the siege positions are going to begin leaving their positions. Only 3 or 4 remain to maintain the spell up until the rest of them make their way through and the gate closes. Leaving you guys out of combat with stragglers dead around. Some of the civilians are going to start bringing the fallen in towards the center. And Potat is going to take the opportunity to do a Revivify on Marka and a heal on this Order of the Gauntlet warrior, bringing them back. Death. Or either death's door. Well.
If anybody else needs healing, I've got tons of land hands.
So,
Boris is going.
Cure
Boris
light wounds.
Boris is out stepping on bodies outside the gates.
and at this point, Boris, you do fall from your death's rage.
About 5.5 minutes, yeah.
And
Combat,
so
yeah.
you take 3 points of exhaustion.
If Hira hurries in, is there anybody else that she can save if she uses land hands or cure wounds or?
It looks like the people that were inside of the house were like they weren't trying to attack. They were purely there to search.
Oh, I don't know why.
Okay. Can I go use my land hands on Drina?
Sure, yeah.
How much would it heal back for her?
As much as you want. As much as your healing hands pool will allow.
I can do up to 55.
Okay, well, however, she looks pretty damaged, not deadly wounds.
Let's do 20 back to her.
Okay, so she is pretty well off now. Alright. And that is going to be the end of the Siege of Delmon Ranch. With some interesting stuffs happening. And hopefully we all get some much needed break from Princes of the Apocalypse. Because next week we will be doing Le Map, or Lost Mines of Fendelver. So some of our current players are going to be returning actors. We'll have a new person in to see how that goes for a little while. And yeah, so next week, look forward to Le Map. But any last little bit things that we want to do before I officially end the session here? And we pick up a few weeks from now here at this point.
I believe that Boris will make his way inside and collapse.
Okay.
Just pass out on the ground, and Murderface will obviously swoop down and check to see if he's okay.
So Murderface has taken some damage.
Yeah, he's gonna need to. And Boris has been super worried about Murderface, just out of his mind though, with the need to kill all these orcs and all these fire cultists. He's down, he's passed out, face down on the ground.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for bearing with me. I know we went a little long, but I think that brought us to a decent conclusion.
Hell yeah.
Gives you some stuff to think about and ponder while we do something else for a little bit. Because holy shit, September we'll be doing this campaign for 2 years, guys. 2 fucking years.
Yeesh.
Long one.
And another year after that.
Most likely, depending on how you guys roll it.
A year after that.
Hopefully by the end of that year we'll be on to something new. But
King's Thunder.
thank you guys for joining for a wonderful session. And I appreciate you guys coming out. But I will say goodbye to stream. Goodbye.
Bye, stream.
Bye.
Goodbye.